News Thursday, January 20th, 2016. I know this because Ami Kaufman told me it is January 28th.
I did.
Yes, you did. You know, I have to make a confession. Ami Kaufman's actually my father. And
I did not. I'm glad I was sitting down. I didn't know that one.
Yes, but who cares about that? Because Avi was in studio. The fabulous culture editor, sadly not for long.
We're moving away from the gloom and doom of Israeli culture to Park City, Utah, where the Sundance Film Festival is wrapping up in the following days.
Where we're not at right now.
Where we're not at. Started in 1978 by Robert Redford. It was sort of, you know, the big indie. It was the big indie marketplace of ideas for many years. That focus has sort of shifted to South by Southwest, which is the new kid in town.
And also there's the Telluride, the Telluride Film Festival, I think, in
it sort of lost its sort of
prestige.
peak. It's become more mainstream, bigger names, but still they had 123 feature films in the festival this year from 37 countries, 49 first-time directors.
Wait, I'm just looking at Robert Redford, who's looking fabulous. Okay.
And 12,000 submissions, which means people still want to be in Sundance, and because in Sundance you sell your movie.
You sell your movie in Sundance. The skiing is fabulous.
So let's talk about some of the movies we saw. Probably the biggest movie to come out of Sundance this year is The Birth of a Nation. Not that movie.
As a former film student, I'm like, what?
Not that movie.
Yes.
It's a movie by filmmaker Nate Parker, who also stars in the role. It's about Nat Turner, the famous slave who started an uprising in the United States. It's sort of not a very well-known story. It's well-known in some circles in America, but it's not well-known around the world that there was a slave who started an uprising, which wasn't successful. They didn't win that time.
Yes, but was part of of an idea that eventually.
The movie is getting great reviews and was sold for $17.5 million, a record for Sundance.
Wow.
That film, you're going to hear about it. Moving on to another Sundance sensation, it's the movie Swiss Army Men, which stars Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter himself, as a corpse.
Is it right to stop? Wait. As a corpse?
As a corpse.
Throughout the entire film?
With amazingly powered flatulence.
Okay. Is there a trailer for this thing?
No, we don't. Unfortunately, we don't have a trailer. We do have Daniel Radcliffe talking about the movie, so let's hear
Daniel
about
Radcliffe speaking about this film. What's it called again? Swiss Army Men. Okay, Harry Potter.
Soon after I was sent the script, Paul wrote to me and said, like, hey, the script is crazy, but these directors are amazing, so, like, please read it. And I read it and loved it, and then I met Daniel Scheinert, and it was just clear that this would be a really exciting thing to be a part of.
Two things. He will always be Harry Potter.
But he's great. I love him.
I know you do.
He'd play a corpse. The movie is like...
How 2 hours corpse?
Okay, so the movie is sort of... one reviewer described it as Castaway meets Weekend at Bernie's, because it's about a guy who is... cast ashore with a corpse. And with amazingly powered flatulence. It's sort of slapstick humor. People walked out of the screening.
Wow.
And we're moving on to Hunt for the Wilder People. It's a movie by Taika Waititi, known for the movie Boy and What We Do in the Shadows. He's a New Zealand director, Aborigines director.
And we have a trailer.
Let's watch a trailer.
Ricky Baker. He is a bad egg. His history of offences and re-offences is too long to list. We're talking graffitiing, littering, smashing stuff, burning stuff, breaking stuff, stealing stuff, throwing rocks, running away. And that's just the stuff we know about.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, boy, we loved, and that looks good.
Yeah, it really looks good. We're moving on to Sing Street from director John Carney, who did Once and Begin Again. He's sort of single-handedly bringing back the musical film, and this one takes place in Ireland in the 80s, and it looks fabulous. We have a small clip of that if we can
Let's
see.
take a look.
About the girl, isn't it?
What's this?
Homework.
I have school in the morning.
This is school. Rock and roll is a risk. You risk being ridiculed.
Jesus, what are you all wearing?
Yeah, we're just working that out.
That's great fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Have you kissed her yet?
She's got a boyfriend. Pulled off in his car, music blaring.
What was he listening to?
Nice.
Genesis.
So yeah, a bit of a Commitments vibe to that. 80s, Ireland. It looks very good, and John Carney has been very strong. And I want to end on a local film, Sandstorm by Elite Zexer, from my year in university. It's been getting...
Okay.
It's an Arabic language film in a Bedouin village in Israel. Very strong premiere for Elite, and it's one to watch out for.
And we have something of it?
No, we don't.
Nothing?
Unfortunately, we
Want
don't
to
have a
watch
clip.
it? We have a clip, Sally,
But she's great. So
she's great, and we need to
hope
look at
great
Sandstorm.
things for her. Yeah.
We need to look out for it. There you go. We're going to look out now for Ami Kaufman.
Yeah.
With the
I'm
viral
here.
spiral. You are. I know. There we go. Yes. The viral spiral that is the web.
Okay, we are going to start with some viral celebrity stories, and this is actually connected to the Sundance Film Festival, where Jon Hamm is, I think he's there, but he's also a juror, I think. But he's told a story about one of the awards that he got from the Golden Globes. That the Hollywood Foreign Press Association actually misspelled his name on the statue.
Sorry.
Instead of they spelled John with an H, and he had to, I guess, give it back and get the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say that...
I would keep it as a
Completely,
conversation started.
exactly.
Look, if it's spelled my name, it's great.
That's like a cocktail party, perfect thing.
You're right.
For life, and one day...
Well, here it is. He's telling it to everybody at Sundance. So I
I
guess
know,
it is a good.
but several years from now, maybe he was not going to be that successful, and he's going to need a conversation, whatever. You never know. Yeah, I would keep it. Okay, and
Miley Cyrus is going back to television.
yippee.
And who is she going back with? She is going back to a show called Deadline, which is on Amazon. It is being directed by no other than Woody Allen. It's a 6 half-hour episode kind of season, I guess what you call it. I don't know if it's a season, but it's 6 half-hour episodes, and it's taking place in the 1960s. So Miley Cyrus, the last time she was on television was, of course,
Hannah Montana.
Right, and since then she's been doing, I guess, what you call other things.
I think that's a perfect way, before we can do a perfect way of putting it politically in a politically correct way, because she's so far gone from Hannah Montana.
Yes.
But with Woody Allen, it's interesting, and the thing that I find so fascinating about it is these series that are being made by Amazon, Netflix, whatnot.
Right.
Folks, that's the future.
I
That's
find
the
it
future.
very funny, Woody Allen and Miley Cyrus. I find that, and slightly creepy.
It's true. They're very creepy, actually.
Thank you.
Very creepy. Okay, I see where you're getting. Okay, and
Sticking with television and celebrities, Matthew Perry was recently interviewed because a lot of people are talking about this Friends reunion that is happening.
I think we need to be honest with everybody. Our entire staff is talking about the Friends reunion.
Really?
Yes,
Are
I'm
you
not that
serious?
excited about it, but
The
apparently
Friends reunion. It's not really.
exactly. That Matthew Perry's not.
Matthew
gonna
Perry,
say-
he's not going to be there because prior commitments, he's filming somewhere else, I think in London or England or whatever. Anyway, he was asked what was his least favorite episode, and the man actually said that he couldn't remember because I think the answer is I don't remember 3 years of it.
He was
'Cause
high.
He was so high. He was on drugs and he was an alcoholic, and so none of those. He basically doesn't remember 3 years of filming Friends.
And those were the best seasons.
Those were the best seasons. And speaking of that reunion, I just want to show you a picture. We have a picture, the recent picture of this ahead of this reunion, the non-reunion. Here's the latest picture. We can see David Schwimmer.
Yeah,
And,
for all
Jennifer
of you
Aniston,
missing those years, Schwimmer,
and Courtney Cox,
and of course Jennifer Aniston and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm more
And
of
the
a
cast of The Big Bang Theory with them.
with them.
we should say.
Yes, exactly.
yeah,
It's
they're
one
kind
from
of
the cast.
photobombing them, I guess is what you call it.
More of a Seinfeld chick myself.
The generation handoff, because
Handoff
that's the
from
big
that.
that's the big comedy
Very well
today.
said. Very well
Yes.
said.
But I think it's very remarkable that that if you look at the acting that he did, it's very good for someone who was high all the time.
That's what I'm saying. 3 fabulous seasons.
Yeah. How do you remember the script and the lines? And,
I
don't
think
know.
he was ad-libbing, and since those 3 seasons, he hasn't fared so well. So, well, never mind. Okay, yes, and.
Okay, enough celebrities and all that stuff. Let's go to the usual viral videos. Here's one I want to show you of a dog basically turning into a horse. This is, of course, at a veterinarian clinic where they're trying to give a really massive, he's a huge dog, a shot, holding him down. Let's see what happens. Keep an eye on him.
Okay.
She's basically
keeping him down.
and another woman is trying to give him the shot. I guess it's in the paw. He is not having any of it.
I'm loving the spirit, I have to say, because he's giving them a fight. Look,
here's help number 3. Help number 3.
I'm coming to help. And how many people are going to sit on the dog? Is my question. Oh my God. Oh, whoa.
Oh, there you go. He's starting to get a little angrier.
That's not that. That's like rodeo. That's essentially rodeo. Oh, this is a snuff film.
She's
Oh, that's great.
Yes, my cat does not do that.
That, my friends, was a dog turning into a horse.
My cat does not do that.
On to our next item is, we talked yesterday, I think, with Ronnie Stav about the princesses, Disney princesses. Here I want to give you a totally different take on Disney princesses. A new research out concerning gender equality. These are these are linguists called, their names are Carmen Fott and Karen Eisenhower, studied every Disney princess film. And it turns out that male characters speak a far greater percentage of the dialogue than the female characters do. And it's getting worse, Yael, as the years go on. Especially in that second wave, what they call the 80s and 90s, where you had The Little Mermaid and Aladdin and Pocahontas. What's interesting is actually, what you would think is when you go back to Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which was released way back in 1938.
Which I have to say, I know very well because I've been watching it for the last 2 months repeatedly. Yes.
That was actually progressive when it came to splitting the dialogue. It was 50-50 between male
and Snow White sang. Okay.
And Snow White
sang.
But,
and she was asleep for part of that movie, so she did more talking for the parts where she was awake.
Well, Aladdin, I will not fault him because there's the whole. It's about.
There's one woman in that movie.
So the men speak more, and what did the female characters do?
Guess what? Well, they don't speak. They don't give them time.
They
look pretty, right?
I was about to say there.
Even Frozen, like the feminist movie, men speak more in Frozen.
Really?
Yes. It's crazy. It's crazy statistics.
No, it's crazy.
Here in Sleeping Beauty, according to this report, Sleeping Beauty, men snagged 71% of the speaking time.
She was sleeping.
She wasn't sleeping. She still 5 minutes in the movie.
That's a good point. She was sleeping. We'll give her that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No, but it's really atrocious numbers.
But that is, see, the thing that's so frightening about this is because that's how boys and girls are educated. It's not just what the girls are seeing; it's what the little boys are seeing. Mm-hmm. I'm going to quote the Canadian Prime Minister and say, "It is important to educate our next generation in, not just being equal, but that men know how to treat women fairly."
We all have a Canadian Prime Minister like
Maybe
Justin
we all
Trudeau.
have a Canadian Prime Minister. Okay.
Here is a new padlock that apparently cannot go wrong. We're hearing a lot about biometrics getting into our lives, basically, with the internet of everything of the internet, whatever you call it. You just put your finger on it, and it reads your fingerprint, and that's the way you're going to open your padlock from now on. And there have been some previous attempts to do this, but apparently this one is foolproof, and it really works. Really works.
I'm not buying because who has an iPhone here?
I don't have an iPhone.
Okay.
I don't have one. But let's see some of the commercials.
Let's see, and then I'll explain you why I'm not buying. Let's see.
Rapid advances in technology are shaping the world. When it comes to security, touch is quickly becoming the industry standard, your finger acting as the key.
We at Pishang Lab decided it was about time to create a padlock for the modern age. We believe a lock should always be functional and provide you with a quick, easy access whenever you need it. We're proud to introduce Taplock and Taplock Lite, the world's smartest padlocks.
Taplock and Taplock Lite need no key, no combination code, and no phone to access them. Instead, using a cutting-edge encrypted fingerprint sensor, it grants access with just a tap in 0.8 seconds. There's nothing to remember and nothing you can lose. It uses the one thing you always have with you, your unique fingerprint. Taplock can also double as a phone charger, so you'll never be stranded without power.
It's a great idea, and it's all great. And I just want to say that I have the same thing on my phone, on my
your
iPhone,
phone, right, yeah.
where you open it with your fingerprint, and it stopped working after a week. And
I just think hackers are not going. just let us at him.
Yeah. Bring it on. Bring it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, soon they'll be able to hack into our house and into our smart homes, right?
I actually think
there
they're
are
already in there.
refrigerators that are being controlled by the internet.
I would rather have a good old key than anything electronic that
Thank you.
know.
No, I'm
I
with
think
you.
we're going to go
Alfred.
back to that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to the old
One more, last one.
more. We're speaking about viral stuff and
Start.
stuff. Most of that stuff comes from social media. Well, there's a new study out. This is a headline from the New York Daily News that extreme social media use can cause sleep disturbances. This is a study that was done. This is a study, but it was a very large study about 1,800 people, adult ages between 19 and 32. And they really, from the University of Pittsburgh, this is done. It's a serious
I didn't
school.
need a study to figure that one out.
Yael wakes up at 3 a.m. What are people saying about me?
Yes, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Avri, you will be missed sorely after I kill you. And now, that was it for us today. Of course, tune in tomorrow morning for another edition of the Morning Edition to start your day and have a wonderful one. For now, stay with the channel for the news for the rest of the day.